Hello, my name is Jada Montemarano with your Spectrum News 1 update. The latest attack from Russia on Ukraine has seen at least 30 civilians killed and over 100 injured, according to Ukrainian officials. The attack included what officials called the biggest aerial barrage of the war, with as many as 122 missiles and dozens of drones. Ohio's governor vetoed a bill that would ban gender-affirming care for transgender minors. If approved, the legislation would have barred transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. The veto was an effort to leave decisions on gender-affirming care to the minor, their parents, and medical professionals. And it was a second day of high surf bashing the California coastline. You're seeing images from the Bay Area, Santa Cruz, and that massive rogue wave that left 8 people hospitalized in Ventura on Thursday. High surf conditions are expected to continue through Saturday, now with a chance of rain adding additional danger for flooding.
Time now for Weather on the Ones. I'm meteorologist Ferdinand Fuhr. So rain chances for the Santa Clarita Valley. They'll begin in the overnight hours. We could see some showers till about the noontime hour. You get that upslope flow getting up into the foothills there. And then partly cloudy skies for the afternoon. A little bit farther south and east, Ontario. Temperatures generally in the 50s. Rain showers possibly till 2 o'clock hour. And then maybe a light shower, maybe even a thunderstorm in the later afternoon hours. That's your Weather on the Ones.
Large waves continue to pound Southern California, increasing the risk of flooding across the coast. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jada Montemarano in for Renee Ng. The National Weather Service said there were reports of waves reaching almost 16 feet in LA County. Streets in Ventura's beach communities were flooded, and officials say all beaches and coastal parks will remain closed over the New Year's weekend. This including the Ventura Pier, seaside campgrounds, and harbor entries. The waters also destroyed parts of beachfront buildings and hotels across Ventura. Cleanup efforts were in full force with the Ventura County Fire Department cleaning up debris. The high surf and coastal flooding warnings are in effect through tomorrow night, with waves expected to reach 20 feet in some spots. Our Natalie Basha headed to Ventura to survey some of the destruction and even met with owners of a local inn which sustained serious damage.
After a rogue wave destroyed the first floor of her Pierpont Beach motel in Ventura this week, owner Judy Thomas feels heartbroken.
My husband and I bought it in 1998, and it was his baby, and then he unfortunately passed away 2 years ago.
The wave hit the first floor of the motel with such force, it broke all the windows. Crews are here pulling out carpets, furniture, even wall treatments.
And so the rooms all had, single, double beds, dressers, end tables, desks.
Nothing from the first floor is salvageable. What's more, Judy had a full house booked for New Year's Eve weekend, which she's had to cancel, causing her a huge financial hit.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But the main concern for residents of Ventura is another storm that's set to hit this area. Neighbors Brad and Carrie Stewart live next door to the motel. They shot this footage of the wave and are bracing for more.
Yeah, I think I'd like more sandbags and hoping and praying for the best, for sure. Hoping that these berms that the city put up last night make a big difference.
Judy does not yet know how long her motel will be closed.
It is our intention that as soon as all the safety issues are taken care of and we have a plan of, what we're going to do, that hopefully we can open back up.
So that she can reopen the Inn on the Beach, the little motel that her husband loved so much.
Thank you for that report, Natalie. Of course, wishing the best for our coastal communities this weekend. So now let's move on to our local weather to see if and when some of this rain moving in will actually continue to impact that coastline.
A very happy Friday to you. I'm meteorologist Ferdinand Fuhr. So rain is on the way. Let's time it out with the futurecast. So around the 1-2 o'clock hour, rain showers making their way into Ventura County. Then by about the 2 to 5 o'clock hour, it comes into LA County and then points southward as we go through the morning hours. There's 7:30, more so heavier showers possibly into Orange County, also the Inland Empire. By then, we should see a little bit of clearing actually in Ventura County. And then by the time we get to about 9 o'clock, the heavier stuff kind of gets on out of here. There's snow in the forecast down to about 6,000 feet. So here's your 7-day forecast. So the coast on top, basins on the bottom. Both of the areas will be in the 60s and the 50s for the next 7 days. Best chances for rain Saturday, then again on Wednesday, then again next weekend. For the valleys and the inland empires, same pattern, same temperatures. We'll go biggest rain chances Saturday, then again on Wednesday, then again next weekend as well. And then for the Coachella Valley, lesser chances for any rain, but still a chance for some light rain.
It's the last Friday of 2023, and it's expected to be one of the busiest days at airports across the country as some Americans return home from the holidays while others are traveling to celebrate the start of the new year. The Transportation Security Administration is expecting to screen millions of people at checkpoints across the U.S. today alone. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
One of the biggest days of the holiday travel rush is here.
We have a bunch of stuff, so we're just trying to hustle through it and get back home.
Between Americans flying back home after Christmas and others taking off to welcome in the new year, the TSA is expecting to screen more than 2.6 million people at airports nationwide. Friday alone, air traffic controllers anticipate handling 43,000 flights. FAA Administrator Michael Whitaker says they're prepared.
We've been through it before. We have a command center in Virginia that really looks at the entire system, where there's potentially weather, where there are delays. We communicate with the airlines and make sure we're running as smoothly as possible.
Travel experts say remote work habits are reducing the crush at airports.
More people are staying longer, coming earlier, leaving later, and so it's spreading those crowds out a bit.
Compared to last year's holiday travel meltdown, the performance of U.S. airlines is significantly improved. Carriers have canceled less than 1% of all flights over the last week, according to figures from FlightAware. But if you were one of the few unlucky passengers impacted,
once you realize your flight's canceled, run to the customer service counter, try to be first in line, but also get on the phone with the airline. Finally, have the app installed on your phone, because sometimes you can just rebook yourself.
AAA had predicted 7.5 million passengers would take flight between December 23rd and Monday, January 1st, the busiest ever at U.S. airports.
His first album, and that's because every time we got that momentum started, he would end up getting locked back up. So this time we being on the straight and narrow as much as possible and just letting the music lead the way and be like the real anchor for what we're doing.
A father-son duo who worked on some of the hottest tracks of the year is up for several Grammys. Coming up, we've got the story of Hit Boy and his reclaimed relationship with his father. Stick with us. In your political news tonight, the Justice Department says the new Texas law that allows police to arrest migrants violates the U.S. Constitution. They're now threatening to sue Governor Greg Abbott if he doesn't back down. The law gives police the power to arrest migrants and gives judges the ability to issue orders to deport them. Abbott slammed the Justice Department's letter and accused President Biden of destroying America. And over in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine vetoed a bill that would ban gender-affirming care for transgender minors. The legislation would have prohibited those under the age of 18 from receiving care and would have banned transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. DeWine says decisions about gender-affirming care should be made by the child, parents, and medical professionals. A federal appeals court has ruled it will not dismiss a civil case against Donald Trump on claims of presidential immunity. This case stemmed from 8 Capitol police officers that were injured during the January 6th insurrection. The court ruled in line with another civil case that said Trump is not entitled to sweeping immunity. The same court will decide on whether Trump has immunity from criminal prosecution next month. Now to news out of Ukraine. Dozens of people are dead after Russia launched its biggest air attack on the country since its full-scale invasion nearly 2 years ago. And as war fatigue hits a fever pitch among some in Congress, President Joe Biden is reiterating his call to send additional aid to Ukraine. Spectrum News Washington correspondent Reuben Jones has the latest.
That attack damaged buildings across Ukraine, including a maternity hospital and schools. And while the attack could have been worse if the Air Force hadn't intercepted missiles, this is still a major hit for Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say Russia launched more than 120 missiles and dozens of drones on Ukraine, including in the capital city, Kyiv. More than 30 people are dead and more than 140 people are injured. A Ukraine military official called it the most massive aerial attack since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022. Now, it could have been worse. President Joe Biden says Ukraine's air defense systems, made possible by aid from the U.S. and its allies, destroyed many of the missiles and drones. Biden has requested a new $60 billion from Congress for Ukraine, but Congress has so far not moved forward on that. And in a statement Friday, Biden said the American people can be proud of the lives we have helped to save. But unless Congress takes urgent action in the new year, we will not be able to continue sending the weapons and vital air defense systems Ukraine needs to protect people. Congress must step up and act without any further delay. As part of this Russian onslaught, Ukraine's neighbor Poland says an unidentified airborne object entered its airspace from Ukrainian territory. The U.S. National Security Advisor has pledged technical assistance to Poland to investigate. There was no comment from Russian officials. In Washington, Ruben Jones, Spectrum News.
Here's what else you need to know tonight. Starting in the new year, California workers will have more guaranteed sick days. Thanks to a bill signed in 2023, workers will now have 5 paid sick days a year. Despite the move, the state still falls behind 14 others on guaranteed sick leave and many of its own cities, including Los Angeles. And speaking of being sick, LA County has now entered a medium level of COVID-19 hospital admissions, meaning that healthcare workers will once again be required to mask up while on the job with patients. The mandate affects all workers regardless of vaccination status. It will remain in effect until COVID-19 admissions track below the medium threshold for at least 14 days. Walmart is recalling 4,200 toy kits with magnetic balls over concerns they could cause severe or even deadly injuries to children. The Relax 5mm science kit with magnetic balls were sold exclusively on Walmart.com. If swallowed, the magnets could attach to each other inside the digestive system and cause potentially life-threatening conditions. The voting period for the 66th Grammy Awards wraps next week, and one father-son producer team is hoping to see their dreams come true. Our Ray Williams caught up with Producer of the Year nominees Hit Boy and his dad, Big Hit.
What's the one thing that can make winning a Grammy even more special? For LA native and producer Hit Boy, the answer would be having his father by his side.
You know, this has been a real locked-in story. This ain't just I'm Hit Boy, the producer, then made stuff for Jay-Z and Travis and Drake and Kanye, and it's like, I'm about to just clown and put my dad on. It's like, nah, we've been talking about this for years, and it's years in the making.
His dad, rapper Big Hit, was behind bars throughout his childhood and got out of prison in May after serving almost a decade for a hit and run. Now he's making music with his son, and Hit Boy says the music is helping them heal.
This is his first album, and that's because every time we got that momentum started, he would end up getting locked back up. So this time we being on the straight and narrow as much as possible and just letting the music lead the way and be like the real anchor for what we're doing.
Hit Boy is nominated for a 2024 Grammy for Producer of the Year, and should he win, it'll be his 4th overall Grammy, but the first in this category and the first his dad will witness. And Big Hit's been eager for this moment.
This anticipation was killing me to, it could be, cause anxiety. You just want to be there so bad.
They managed to keep their bond strong despite everything, and he's impressed by his son's accomplishments.
When I'm dealing with Hit Boy, I don't get no favors or whatever. It's just straight raw. He, he's real stern and firm about his craft. He wouldn't have me in there just because I'm his pops. He got to be heat. And got to be really worthy of working with.
And besides his dedication to perfection, Hit Boy's also insistent on owning his own music and making sure that he has full creative control, something he says more artists need to do. With his dad, a potential Grammy, and ownership, Hit Boy says he'll be hard to stop.
I'm just at an overall place of empowerment, just with my business, just trying to put myself in a place to where I don't really have to ask too many questions, and it's like I'm gonna let everything come to me.
Letting everything come to him, including hopefully a new Grammy.
What a better way for a father and son to bond than through the power of music. Thank you so much for that story, Ray. Wishing them the best of luck. And if you want to see if that father-son duo will take home music's highest honor, the 66th Grammy Awards will be held on Sunday, February 4th at Crypto.com Arena right here in downtown Los Angeles. The show will be broadcast live at 5 p.m. on CBS.
The initial idea of the restaurant was for it to be able to strip away all the white linen and, you know, all the wine glasses and different silverwares and things like that. It should be a little bit more laid back, but still to get the same quality of food.
High quality food from Pillowy gnocchi to decadent truffle desserts. All this ahead on this week's edition of Running on Empty. You won't want to miss it, trust me.
This is my kind of ultimate music dream kind of thing. I get to play with other people from different communities and schools. I get to march this huge parade, and it's enjoyable, and I'm ready and excited.
On New Year's Day, music students from the Los Angeles Unified School District will march down Colorado Boulevard in the Rose Parade. A dream come true for many to even be able to participate. Coming up, we'll take you along with them through the journey to get there. Stick with us after the break.
Running on Empty, brought to you by your Southern California Chevy dealers.
I can't believe it. How is it almost 2024? If you're looking for a way to celebrate, how about by eating some truffles and sipping champagne? Sounds like my ideal night. Popular downtown Los Angeles restaurant Odeum created special decadent dishes to ring in the new year. And on this week's Running on Empty, I learned what they'll be offering. And trust me, it was delicious. This Pillowy gnocchi has been on the menu at Odeum since the very beginning, a personal dish to culinary director Jonathan Granada.
It was one of the first pastas I ever made as a kid. It's literally just potato, egg, flour.
And as a kid, he really means during culinary school, experimenting with ingredients he had in the fridge, following a recipe from the coveted French Laundry cookbook.
And it was just funny that years later, fast forward, and it's something that I've made not only at the French Laundry, but now brought that here to Odeum, and it's been on the menu since day one. It's a pretty cool story.
A full circle moment for Jonathan, who helped open the modern upscale bistro with award-winning chef Timothy Hollingsworth, who even won global culinary competition The Final Table on Netflix.
Yeah, it's been amazing since day one, from the Netflix show to everything the restaurant's been through. It's awesome. To see where it's at now, it's great.
And now they're gearing up for their New Year's Eve dinner featuring none other than truffles, seen in everything, even dessert.
I think everybody wants to celebrate on New Year's, whether it's with caviar, champagne, truffles, all the nice expensive ingredients. It's why not? You know, Christmas is over. It's the last time to go all out before the new year.
So instead of a prefix dinner service, they'll be offering their regular menu with these featured specials, as Odeum, nestled next to the Broad Museum, is meant to be a relaxed environment, serving high-end dishes with top ingredients. So the team wants to stay true to that, even for the holiday. But there will be a champagne toast at midnight, of course.
And the initial idea of the restaurant was for it to be able to strip away all the white linen and, you know, all the wine glasses and different silverwares and things like that. It should be a little bit more laid back, but still to get the same quality of food.
The quality seen in this filling for the small but mighty lasagna.
It's a black truffle pasta dough with the roasted sunchoke and black truffle filling, with a Parmesan glaçage over the top, which is like a Parmesan mousse, and then crispy sunchoke topping, or sunchoke dust.
A luxurious way to bring in the new year, as Jonathan hopes the celebration is
a moment that they'll cherish for the rest of their lives.
Cherish some truffles for New Year's at Odeum. My favorite part of the year is watching the ball drop. It's getting ready for 2024, and we've already got the dinner and champagne covered for Sunday night. But how about that confetti? Times Square successfully completed their annual confetti test in preparation for the big New Year's moment. And back here in SoCal, after Sunday night's festivities, the celebrations continue on Monday. Music students from the Los Angeles Unified School District will take their 51st march down Colorado Avenue as part of the annual Rose Parade in Pasadena. The all-district honor marching band is comprised of students from all the schools throughout the district. And as Lydia Pendasa shows us, for many, this opportunity is a dream come true.
1, 2, 3, 4. 350 students from the Los Angeles Unified School District coming together to make the 5.5-mile march down Colorado Boulevard for the 135th Rose Parade. They're part of LAUSD's All-District Honor Marching Band. Among them, trombone player India Townsend.
This is my kind of ultimate music dream kind of thing. I get to play with other people from different communities and schools. I get to march this huge parade, and it's enjoyable, and I'm ready and excited.
India is a sophomore at San Pedro High School. As she stands in line to get her uniform, she tells me that last year she couldn't try out for the band because she got COVID.
My asthma was flaring up, and between the asthma and COVID, it made my lungs really weak.
Which is why putting on one of these uniforms and performing in the parade is especially exciting.
First uniform ever?
Students from across LAUSD try out to be part of the All-District Honor Marching Band, which started in 1972.
Can I have your attention, please?
Tony White is the band director and was also part of the band in the mid-'80s.
For myself personally, I started playing instruments when I was in middle school in LA Unified School District. And it changed my life to be able to be here today as being a music instructor.
He says many of the marching band members are able to play because they borrow an instrument through their school.
The majority of our students do not own their instrument, so the first time they may even encounter playing the instrument, well, it could be as early as elementary school, but also for sure we know that in middle school.
For India, she's grateful that she's able to borrow her instrument from the district, but she hopes one day to own her own.
Have my own, practice on my own. I never have to return it back to the school after high school.
Making sure she's able to continue playing music after high school and inspiring others in the process.
As we start a new year, let's take a look back at the past. Google has just released the top trending health-related questions that were searched in 2023. Turns out most people looked up information about strep throat. Other top searches: what helps with bloating, how to lower cholesterol, and even what causes warts. And while health seemed to be top of mind in 2023, it also leads the most popular New Year's resolutions for 2024. According to Statista.com, topping the list are exercising more, eating healthier, losing weight, and reducing stress at work. I feel like those are always everyone's New Year's resolutions, right? People are always saying, new year, new me. And as we head into the holiday weekend, I hope everyone had a happy and healthy new year and have some fun this weekend, but of course, stay safe. Thanks for spending your last Friday of 2023 with us. Happy New Year, everyone.